Welcome back. And again, one more cancer. This time we'll be dealing with endometrial cancer or uterine cancer. So it is the most common genital malignancy in females over 50 years of age. It can be termed as endometrial as well as uterine cancer. So definition says that it is the abnormal replication of cells in the uterine cavity involving the innermost or all three layers of the uterus. So in the uterus, mainly there are three layers: endometrium, that is being the innermost layer, and the middle layer is myometrium, followed by the outer layer periometrium. Out of this, commonly affected layer is endometrium. That's why it is termed as endometrial cancer. Etiological as well as risk factor. Common risk factor is excess circulating estrogens, resulting from imbalance between estrogen and progesterone level. So estrogen can leads to abnormal changes in the cells. It can alter the cell structure if it is there in an unwanted or increased level in the body. So common causes for this increase includes unopposed ERT, estrogen replacement therapy. Unopposed means in which only estrogen is being taken. Normally estrogen as well as progesterone together will be taking in hormonal therapy. Here unopposed means only estrogen is being taken. So in that cases the risk increases. If estrogen is being taken along with progesterone, the risk is being diminished. Other causes like early onset of menarche as well as late menopause. In that cases also the level of estrogen will be high in the body. Additional risk factors like as common we have already studied in other cancers like advancing age, obesity, nulliparity. Here DM, diabetes mellitus, is one of the cause. Mainly it is telling that it can, the disease can, the metabolical activity as well as endocrine function, impaired endocrine function can alter the hormonal balance. As well as tamoxifen use. Tamoxifen is a drug which is commonly used for breast cancer. This will increase the amount of estrogen in the body. Actually it will try to diminish the effects of estrogen in the body, but in some scenarios it will increase the amount of estrogen levels in the body. What this drug normally do is it will attach to the receptor. Actually that receptor is made for estrogen, so it will attach the receptors and it will not allow the estrogen to attach and utilize. So that is a normal function, but here it will increase the amount of estrogen somehow. Personal or family history of hereditary non-polyposis colorectal cancer. So in these cases, non-polyposis means polyp, the amount of polyp will not be there. Means amount of the polyp will be very less. Maybe a few polyp will be there or no polyp will be there. Still the patient will be having colorectal cancer due to the hereditary. So in that cases, this cancer is being seen. So if I'm telling all the cancers are almost linked, when one cancer is occurred, we cannot predict which area the cancer will affect next. Pathophysiology is nothing. Due to etiological factors, the common layer affected is endometrium, and mostly these type of tumors are termed as adenocarcinomas. Hyperplasia will be occurring. Hyperplasia of the uterus, which will occur due to the increased action of estrogen. Enlargement of uterus as a result of it, and later it will become invasive in nature. The cancer can spread directly to the myometrium, cervix, as well as the peritoneal structure, or it can spread through the lymphatic channel. Hematogenous or through blood it can spread even to the lungs as well as brain. But most advantage is the cancer is very slow growth, as well as the metastasis will be occur very late, and it is very responsive to the treatment if detected early. So if it is detected early, we can control it well. Signs of metastasis are bone, liver, as well as brain, as well as lung. So that is about the patho. Next is regarding the clinical manifestation. So common presenting feature is abnormal uterine bleeding, usually seen in post-menopausal women. So most common manifestation is abnormal uterine bleeding. Late signs are pain usually associated with metastasis. Occasionally bloody discharges per vagina can be expected, but late sign. So these all are the signs and symptoms. Diagnostic evaluation, biopsy can be done to find, biopsy even can be done in high risk women. Endometrial aspiration as well as endometrial washing can be done to find out the presence of malignant cells. Pap smear as well as pelvic examination can be done to rule out the other related malignancy or infection. Sometimes exploratory laparotomy is being done. We are exploring the abdomen through a large incision to find out what are the abnormalities present. Imaging tests like MRI, CT scan, transabdominal, transvaginal ultrasound. These also can be done to rule out the extension of the disease. And that is all about the diagnostic measures.